There's many steps that we have to do when we go to sell a house. We have to get all the paperwork ready to go. We have to do the property disclosure statements, getting the commission sorted, getting the listing price sorted, filling out all that paperwork, and doing a property disclosure statement. So that's step one. Our next step is to get it ready for marketing. So we're scheduling the photographer, scheduling any staging that we may want to do. We're coming in, we're doing any repairs and any maintenance. We're really prettying up the house at that point and getting all of the back end stuff ready to go to put onto the website and social media. So once we have all that ready to go, we've established a date that we're going to start the showings. Are we going to list and start offers right away, or are we going to be doing an offers day where really it's going to be a zoo around the house and there's going to be many people in and out, and then we'll take an offer a day on that offers. So let's assume we've gone to the place where we're going to take offers on, let's say, the Monday. So all week I've received calls, agents have come in, they've been booking showings. I've been calling my clients and saying, okay, showings are Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Wednesday at 5 o'clock. You know, sometimes there's a string of texts of how many different showings. So we got to keep track of all that and make sure that the client knows who's coming, when they're coming. You know, as agents, we have mechanisms for internal communication. So I'm getting a lot of texting, a lot of information, lots of calls, what's been the interest level of in the house. So that's that first week. Then on the day of offers, we're getting calls from agents. You know, has there been any interest on the house? My client's interested. Maybe they want to get back in for a second showing. Maybe they want a little bit more information on the property. Was there a property disclosure statement? Can we provide that? So we're tabulating and giving all the information that we can to the public and to agents. You know, there's three things that are going to happen. We're going to get multiple offers, 4, 5, 6, upwards of 10. I've heard of many more at that point. That's a big day. We're going to get one offer on offers day. We showed it to 50 people and we're going to get one, or the one where we didn't get an offer, right? So there's really just three things that are going to happen. So now we're going to assess that day. Do we get multiples? Do we have one? Frankly, only one we need is to sell a house, but is it the right offer? And did we not get any? So now we have to evaluate where we're going to go. So that day of offers will dictate how we're going to handle the listing at this point. So let's assume now we have multiple offers. We're going to schedule a time. We're going to sit down. All parties that are part of the transaction need to be present, and we open up all the offers. And that process can be a fun process, but also a stressful process. We're going to evaluate them. Did they have a good deposit check? Did they have the possession date? Did they have lots of conditions? And we're going to weigh these out. Frankly, the highest offer doesn't always win the house. We have to look at other things. We have to look at what's the deposit, what's the possession, what's the strength of their offer. Are they asking for a lot of things, or are they not asking for a lot of things? And so we got to look at the offer that's going to close the property the best. So that would be in a multiple offer situation. If we get one offer, that's great. We'll sit down, we'll look at it. If it's one offer, we may have to deal with home inspections, we may have to deal with finance conditions, we may have to deal with, we got to provide more information. So at that point, we'll evaluate, and if we accept it, it goes into pending, or it could go into a final sale. If we didn't get any offers on the day of offers, you know, there needs to be a meeting with the client. We need to, you know, I like to sit down and have a personal conversation. Sometimes we can't have those, they have to be on the phone. What was it was the house overpriced? Was there something wrong? Like, what was the feedback? And it's at this point that we can evaluate and say, okay, we presented the house this way. These are the comments. So we're either going to change them, or we're going to reflect, or we're going to make some adjustments. I don't like to make crazy adjustments all at once. We have to be educated with where we're going to go. So if that's the case, then at that point, that step would be to, well, let's sit and hold and we'll wait, see what else comes through for that week, or we need to a price adjustment, or we need to pull it off the market and do some of the things that have been suggested. So there's a clear set of steps that we need to do to get from first meeting to signing contract to actually getting the final contract sold. Let's assume now we get a deal where parties are happy, buyers and sellers are now have agreed to terms, price. Now we have the closing period, right? So what's all involved in that is, we have to prepare for movers, we have to get lawyers for closing, we have to make sure the paperwork's in place, any rental contracts or anything that were on the house, we have to get those paid off. Read the meter, so there's a process that has to happen now to get it to sale, to close. That could be a couple weeks. Typically it's 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes we have fast close where they happen in 2 to 3 weeks, pretty fast close. Most people can't close on a property that fast. It takes a little bit of time. So there's a whole process that has to happen from first time we meet to we actually get the transaction sold.